Salam alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to today's Friday Reflections on this, the 17th of July 2020. I hope everybody is well and having a good week. Jummah Mubarak. And what a week it has been. Wow. Earlier this week, there was a statue of the activist Jane Reid that was erected on the plinth where Colston's statue once stood in Bristol. And the local authorities removed it within 24 hours. I was astonished. Normally, if you try to get the council to remove anything or do any work, and you call them out to do that, you'll be lucky to get them to come out within 24 hours. Yet a statue was erected without permission, and Bristol Council bring it down within 24 hours. It's interesting, that. I thought they might have left it up for at least a few days or a week, but alas. And the Hagia Sophia has returned to being a mosque and will open, according to President Erdogan, on the 24th of July. That's going to be quite a momentous moment in Turkish history. And it's a building which has great importance to Greeks as well as Turks, to Christians as well as Muslims. And it'll be interesting to see how this is all handled and how it turns out. Which, regardless what your thoughts are, whether you think it should be a mosque or a museum, either way, it is a momentous moment in the history of Turkey. But I'm not going to go into those today. Instead, I'm going to read a beautiful book. I'm going to read a chapter from this beautiful book, The Conference of the Birds, by Farid Attar. Farid Attar was a Muslim saint who he wrote poetry as a way to teach people about spiritual subjects. And in this book, if you're not familiar with The Conference of the Birds, he uses birds as an allegory for human beings that have different characteristics. And I'm going to read a section of the book, which is called The Partridge. And the birds are on a journey to the Simurg. The Simurg is it's actually like a big eagle or something. It's in Persian mythology, which Farid Attar was referencing in this book, even though it's a Muslim book and it's about a Sufi subject, but was referencing the local culture. But the Simurg in the story is representing the journey to God, although obviously God isn't a big eagle, and no one's suggesting he is, but it's a story. Anyway, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The Partridge. The partridge next approached, graceful yet self-satisfied. Shyly she rises in her treasure of pearls in the garment of the dawn. With blood-rimmed eyes and red beak she flies, with lightly turning head, carrying her belt and her sword. She said, I like to wander among ruins, for I love precious stones. They have lighted a fire in my heart, and this satisfies me. When I burn with desire for them, the pebbles I have swallowed become as if tinged with blood. But often I find myself between stones and fire, inactive and perplexed. O my friends, see how I live. Is it possible to awaken one who sleeps on stones and swallows gravel? My heart is wounded by 100 sorrows, because my love for precious stones has bound me to the mountain. Love for other things is transitory. The kingdom of the jewels is eternal. They are the essence of the everlasting mountain. I know the mountains and the precious stones. With my belt and my sword, I am always seeking the diamond. And I have yet to discover a substance of loftier nature than precious stones. Even the pearl is not as beautiful. Also, the way to the Simurg is difficult, and my feet are attached to the stones as if they were stuck in clay. How can I expect to go bravely into the presence of the mighty Simurg? Oh, my hand on my head, my feet in the mud. Either I will die or I will discover precious stones. My nobility is evident, and he who does not share in my aim is not worth considering. The Hoopoe said, O you who have the colours of all the stones, you limp a little and give lame excuses. Your heart's blood stains your claws and your beak, and your search demeans you. What are jewels but coloured stones? Yet the love of them hardens your heart. Without their colours they would be just ordinary little pebbles. He who possesses the perfume does not seek the colour. He who has the essence will not forsake it for the glitter of outward form. Seek the true jewel of sound quality, and no longer be content with a stone. The Ring of Solomon. No stone was ever so renowned as the stone in the Ring of Solomon. Yet it is quite a simple stone, weighing no more than half a dang. But when Solomon made a seal of it, the whole earth came under his sway. His rule was established, and his law extended to the far horizons. Though the wind carried his will to every quarter, he possessed only a stone of half a dang. He said, Since my realm and rule depend on this stone, from henceforth no one shall have such power. Although Solomon became a great king because of his seal, it was this that delayed his progress on the spiritual path. And he came to the paradise of Eden 500 years later than the other prophets. If a stone could produce such a state in regard to Solomon, what could it do to a being like you, poor partridge? Turn your heart away from common jewels, seek the true jewel, and be the quest of the great jeweler. Now, I think in poetic form, this story of the partridge really captures something of how people often are, and certainly a lot of people today are chasing material things, are chasing precious stones, are chasing designer bags, designer clothes, expensive cars. And what real value do any of these things really have? What do they really bring to the person who possesses them? Not saying any of these things are wrong in and of themselves. If you want to wear nice clothes, that's fine. If you want to have good, nice bags, that's fine. But if this is the thing that's in your heart, more important than anything else. So there's a difference. You see, two people can have the same things, and one person can have a designer bag, for instance, and they like it, but it's not the most important thing in their life. It's just they happen to be well off enough they can afford that and they buy it. But if they didn't have it, it wouldn't mean too much. It wouldn't make too much difference to them. And there's another person they can have, it might even not be a designer bag. It might be something is not even as expensive as that. But for that person, that item is the most important thing in the world. It can be anything. And if that is occupying your consciousness so much, a bit like in Lord of the Rings, you've got the Gollum, and he's going, "Ooh, my precious, my precious. Oh, where is my precious?" Looking for this ring. It's the same thing. If we are so attached to anything material in this world, then how one day can we leave this world? How can we transcend it? It'll be like an anchor of iron holding us back, tying us down to the material world. And we won't be able to fly to the heavens. Allah has given us free will. If we want to chase an iron anchor, we can. Allah has given us permission to do that. Allah has given us the ability to do that. But who chases the iron anchor when they can chase the heavens? Who chases the iron anchor when they can chase the true jewel? Something to think about. I pray you all have a lovely weekend, and I hope everybody is going through good times at the moment, in spite of everything that's going on. I know it's difficult with the lockdowns, and even coming out of lockdowns, coronavirus is still spreading. It's a challenging time. There's a lot of restrictions still in place. But I pray whatever you're going through, Allah makes things easier for you and grants you the ability and means to overcome your difficulties and challenges in your life or in the lives of people in your families, and makes things easier for you. May Allah bless you all, and I wish you all the very best. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billahi al-aliyyil azim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin wa sallim. الفاتحة بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.